Well, it was not recording, just so you guys
I
know.
mean, I actually think the origin of women's belts came from back in the day when they were traded as goods,
The
and that was just kind of like, you know,
the
Wait,
belts traded
literally
as
literally
goods.
women?
keep your daughters on, all in line as you take them to market to sell.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't record this.
Nope, too late. I clicked record.
Well, we gotta always at least do something not PC and alienate some part of our audience.
I
But
mean,
that's
granted,
the thing, though, is it's not un-PC when it's literally historical fact. I mean, that's actually where the origins of marriage came from, selling off your daughters to, nearby noblemen
to
and chieftains
strengthen
so
your
you guys have a
political
trade.
ties.
Exactly.
It's the original clout chasing.
I don't think clout chasing involves the
It's
selling.
clout chasing. So hello everybody, welcome to episode 3 of the podcast. We trying introductions. It's easy to introduction for 4
Well,
people.
hold on.
It
I'm
immediately
not
stopped.
done with the selling.
Yeah, full
off
stop.
of women. So, like, the dowry and everything that comes from the family. So, yeah, I want to make sure it's clear everyone understands that the selling part is the father, not the husband. So that the father is paying for the guy to be the husband.
Yeah, clout. Paying for the clout. Pay
It's
to win.
like, hey, guess what?
Pay to win.
Our villages should probably be like cool with trade, but we need something binding other than this, possible contract. I'll sell you my daughter. Cool job, bro.
And thus, that is the origins of women's belts.
And marriage.
I think that's a strong parallel to draw, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, not to mention like chastity belts. That was another origin of women's belts.
So I thought chastity belts were developed because of like a fetish thing, not
Nope.
something else. Yeah, that's
Nope, it was full on keep your daughters pure until you can hand them over to be deflowered by their husband. So, chastity belt. Literally metal underwear that would rust and cause all kinds of problems, and you were lucky to
Ew.
actually survive one.
Ew. I'm thinking of like fucking 1000 AD Europeans, even further back, who showered once a month. Ew.
Uh huh.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Complete lack of hygiene. Little mites. Ah, God,
Yep.
the odor.
I'm just gonna go back to my happy place of thinking about women's belts' origin being went from the hauberk time when you got that chainmail, and it's just there for helping support the weight on your hips instead of it just leaving it all on your shoulders.
Mhm.
And they're like, you know what, daughter, I can't give you the armor, but here's the belt.
It's like when men gave women high heels, right?
so. Is
Men
this,
used to wear high heels.
was this like the first steps of like feminism, allowing your daughter to have a belt so she could have a load?
So she too can have a load-bearing utility item of clothing.
Oh god.
And I'm just sitting here smiling and nodding. Just like, yep.
I appreciate you said you're smiling and nodding because else none would know.
Yep. And it's one of those, like, the more you know, the world is fucked up. And yeah, one of those kind of smiles. Like,
There's like a rainbow, like a reading rainbow situation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yep.
Hold on,
Knowledge is power.
I think we've stumbled upon the origins of the bra, though, because there's now this load-bearing belt, and then, like, maybe the reason was she's saying, like, oh, my shoulders are stiff from the support weight.
No,
and
no,
then
no,
you
no,
move
no.
that.
No. Bras make it worse. Bras also not a feminine invention. Had nothing to do with helping women at all.
Isn't that the
Like,
whole
hold on.
selling?
It was
point?
your bits are shameful. You need to wear many, many layers. And in case these other 6 layers of clothing come off, have this other one that has got weird straps and it's pinchy and it just kind of lifts and squishes the girls up where they need to be. So, nice to look at, but just terrible and like just back pain for decades for you.
I watched a historical video on YouTube. I forgot what it is, but there was this woman who basically put on like like a 16th century dress in like triple speed. And just the layers and the tying and the layers. It was solid 45 minutes. I think if it was not sped up. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, imagine doing that to hide your biddies so men don't you know so God doesn't, shine his judgment on you. Whatever the fuck it is.
Yup.
Oh, hey, you see the nape of the knee and you just swoon.
God forbid, girls
Hey,
shows an ankle.
I read that
ankle.
schools in Japan are banning ponytails because the nape of the neck is causing issues with the boys.
Oh, too much skin on that. Yeah, okay.
Pigtails, but not the.
Actually, I'm gonna go to Reddit and look for that real quick.
Not the skirts.
Nope.
Not the skirts. It's not the uniforms. It's not just the fact that they openly will put a lot of the sexual material out in public, but censor it, but not really censor it.
Honestly, though, shit, back in the 1600s, and with the Puritans and whatnot, a woman shows her ankle. Oh, she was put in the racks and beaten for a week.
This is a very dark and morbid take right now on.
Go to the link in
Why'd you put it there? Oh my god!
See, and
I actually need to do a little research to see if that's true because that was an image posted at
For those of you that can only hear and can't see because this is a podcast, it's just a picture of schoolgirls and then says Japan. Schools have banned ponytails, fearing they might sexually excite men.
The best part is, I want to say that picture may not even be from like a Japanese school.
yeah.
I mean, it could be fake. However, I have heard in other actual news articles in the past of rules being passed on women to stop men from being assholes, and it's kind of like, stop, or you should just stop. Stop being assholes. That's not how, like,
And you know what the worst part about it is that being a woman in today's society, you can't do shit without someone up in your business telling you that you're doing something wrong. There's always someone trying to tell you how to live your life and victim blaming and just telling you how shitty you are. Yet no one ever wants to sit back and go, oh, maybe we should, tell, our boys not to be abusive dicks. Tell the boys not to be rapists. And then, I don't know, tell girls not to slut shame each other and not freaking be assholes to each other just because of all of this stuff that's ingrained in us of you are not enough. And that ties in perfectly with women's belts, women's bras, overall fashion, overall what we can and cannot do in society. God forbid a woman wants to actually walk down the street to her job. The levels of harassment and judgment is astronomical. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I've seen that. Growing up with a lot of male friends, I have friends who have definitely catcalled women before. From a personal experience, because this is a very serious podcast episode, apparently. I remember in middle school, like the other boys in the class, they would openly talk about, oh, you've never, like, they'd be like, oh, Chubbs, not my government name, but you've never grabbed a girl's ass, like, walk through the hallway? I'm like, no. Like, come on, man, I'll lead the way and you can do it too. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to pass on that. And this is when we were like 11, 12, 13. Like, that's a fucking thing. And in the context of being in school, it's like, I didn't do it. But really didn't think about that conversation. But as you grow up, it's like, you're kind of like, wow, this is kind of fucked up. Like, this is actually, like, I like my personal space as a human being. I can't imagine just being a gender where somebody just constantly invades your fucking personal space. Like, they own it. Like, randomly.
It's really easy to experience it. So you just go to YaoiCon and then you can experience it yourself.
What's interesting, though, is I agree with what you guys were saying, but it's odd that it's very intrusive, like you said, for one side, And then the other side, you think it's not intrusive, but it's like the opposite of it. Like, they expect males to be intrusive, so because of that, if you're anything outside of that, you're now within the norm. So there's no middle ground.
Yeah, that's true too. Is there's also, this, as much as people are like, I'm gonna sound such a jackass saying this, like toxic masculinity deniers. It's like, no, toxicity of the human species is a thing, but the fact that you're literally telling impressionable young boys that see the world differently, that if they don't, basically assert their dominance from an early age, that they're not a man. It's like, really? So you actually think it's okay and expect your sons to grow up treating women like shit, treating their guy friends like shit because they're not following this alpha mentality, because treating people like shit makes you the alpha. And it's like, who the fuck thought that garbage up? Like, it is okay for men to have emotions other than punch things and hungry and need to hump. Like, seriously, there's more to life than that. Like,
yes, the 3 male emotions.
Mm-hmm. Any other emotion needs to be suppressed and passed on to your children as trauma.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that's the thing, though, is like that's what society expects of men. And it sucks. Because honestly, talking to you 3 guys, totally different from the normal alpha males. And I love it because you guys are real, you're honest, you will talk the shit that needs to be talked, but never once has anything about the 3 of you been toxic. And it's fucking refreshing as a woman to be in that type of male space. So thank you for that.
You're welcome, and I'd also like to laugh at Chubbs now, because you are now in the beta male group that you were complaining about.
I wouldn't want to say anything. But...
I'm the beta male. Oh no. No. You know what? One thing so talking about that social group. So anybody who's listening to the podcast, and if we have any actual viewers, I'm part of like a meetup group from the at meetup.com and the app. And we basically, it's just, we have social events, and in this group, like I try to be kind of like, I really jazz up my social skills. I talk to a lot of people. I'm kind of loud. I definitely swear a lot, but I also do it in the most like friendliest way possible. Like, I treat the men and the women the same. I have the same conversations with the women that I have with the men, because it's just, to me it's nothing weaker than like being this like guy where a woman walks into the conversation, you immediately start oogling her, and it's like, that's fucking stupid. Like, just treat everybody the same, be open, and be interested in being a decent human being. It's not that fucking hard, and you can be a quote unquote alpha personality and still be a decent fucking human being. Like, I don't understand why people get like messed up in that sauce. Like, it's just, it blows my mind.
It's a taught thing. Like, a good example is, I recently got in an argument with my parents. Like, as much as they care and everything for me, there's obvious things that they have been taught that I strongly disagree with. Not even like the whole beta mentality or anything, but, and this might be different for you guys. Handshakes. They are strongly of the mindset that you can tell the character of a person just based off of a fucking handshake. And I was like, I understand what you're saying. If you go to an interview, yes, as they always like try to take web to web, firm handshake, yada yada yada. I got it. Good first impressions. However, trying to say like you can instantly judge the character off of anyone just based off of a fucking handshake, I'm like, no. Like, I will handshake 2 different people at like in the same moments of each other, and it's not going to be the same fucking handshake between those 2 individuals. That doesn't mean that I changed within those 5 seconds. It was just difference of a fucking handshake.
The only thing you can judge off a handshake, honestly, is a person's anxiety level.
Yep.
It's the only thing.
But counterpoint. Going for handshake, what if the person goes for the forearm grasp and yells, "Well met"?
Well, then they're...
No one has done that to me yet. And, not to give too much information, I work in a professional environment where handshakes are the norm. And it's like, I kind of wish people would do that. And what I liked about the
Yeah.
pandemic is we started getting alternative handshakes. You know, the fist bumps, the elbow bumps, and all that stuff. That was really cool. That was you could tell if somebody by doing that you could tell somebody was actually really fun. But with this whole concept that the handshake's the end all be all, it's how you seal the deal. It's how you express your manliness. It's like, bro, this is like, you know, you might as well just whip out your dicks and start jerking off with each other at this point. You know, it's like there's nothing to it.
But see, like I said, it's like it's a taught thing. They just believe that, and I just like I said, hey, I don't want to get in an argument with you guys, but I just don't think that's true. It's just a fucking handshake, and he started to get mad at me, and I was just like, oh,
yeah, because it breaks the paradigm of what the ultimate male is, right? You know, he should be in the office, you know, 18 hours a day, crippling addiction, you know, cold and distant from his family type of shit. Like it's like fuck that, guys.
Does everything for his family
that just
except
sounds
for
like
being there.
And God forbid a female counterpart has a firmer handshake than her associates. And God forbid when a woman has a strong handshake in a business setting, she actually looks someone in the eye and actually has like the authority of I am standing as an equal.
So
you would not believe the shit that happened to me and a lot of my girlfriends in like work settings where we had strong handshakes, we had a strong business presence, and we were labeled as like too assertive. Because we dared to look a CEO in the eye and say, it's nice to meet you while you shake their hands.
That's bullshit.
Let me throw some more fire on this. How often do you get to go for the handshake versus them going for a hug?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's gross. Like me personally, I have boundary issues. Like I have my bubble, and depending on how, like when I first meet you, the vibe I get from you will determine whether or not I allow you to get close enough for a hug. I just, in general, I don't like to be touched. Yeah. And yeah, honestly, there's stories there. That's for later, for more serious podcasts.
Do you ever have anyone that will like try to not do a handshake, but they try to do like they'll reach for your hand as if they're going to do like the whole royalty hand kiss shit?
Well,
oh my God. I kid you not. Someone tried to do that to me in college. And my guy friend at the time, full on just slapped the guy. And he's dude, no.
Good for him.
I'm laughing because I'm like, did he
for everybody. Good for you for not getting fucking like princess kissed. Good for your buddy for standing up for you. And good for the guy who got slapped because he learned a fucking life lesson.
Like seriously, like they started arguing about it, and I'm like, excuse me, is anyone going to like comment on the fact that there were so many boundaries crossed and I've yet to get an apology for that? And the guy who tried to kiss my hand was like, you're a fair sex, you shouldn't have to be apologized to.
Oh my God.
Did he tip his fucking fedora? Milady, you should be honored that I would make mouth contact with your appendages.
No, but about 30 minutes later, in the middle of all this kerfuffle, his girlfriend showed up.
Ooh.
True alpha male or sigma male. What are the kids calling it right now?
Sigma.
The omega males, you know.
Omega male.
Oh my gosh.
The Greek alphabet only has 3 letters in it, apparently. So
yeah, which all of that. Oh my God. Which that whole thing of like the alpha, the beta, and blah blah blah. That was from a misnomer of freaking animals and like wolves and lions and stuff. And it's like they really had no way to quickly label like
is this
the one.
Is this that stupid picture on Facebook where the wolves are following the leader of the pack?
It's a single trail,
but it's a completely misreading of the situation.
Yep.
Like something like that just dumb people latch onto like, oh yeah, alpha leadership. It's like I think it was something like that was the mother wolf, and there's a story behind it where it's like completely ass backwards.
So what generally in that situation, it's usually the wounded one up first, so that way they don't leave something behind.
Yeah. Then there's of course the other one of like the 2 wolves together, where it's like, you know, the alpha female will protect the throat of her mate, you know, and it's not a sign of submission. She knows how to keep her man alive, and I'm just saying like, who the fuck writes this shit? Like, what? Do people not realize like that picture?
I have a unnamed family member. I won't even tell everybody how they're related to me. And no one here is basically none of you guys have ever talked to them. They're not on Discord or anything. Who is a kind of like an internet shut-in. He's super into like EDC everyday carry in like simulated like threats, but he's not like, but he's like, he supposedly carries a knife and a ruler and a whatever the fuck, I don't know, protractor around probably because it's weird. But he used to post shit on Facebook before he deactivated his Facebook about how when men see each other and they know each other across the room, they nod to each other, and the reason they nod to each other is because they're showing not, it's not respect, or it's showing the other person your neck. No, it's a neck. Oh, so you're showing them your neck and thus giving a sign of weakness out of respect to them. And I'm like, what the fuck?
How foolish of them.
So what does it mean when you make eye contact and then you make a face at each other? Like
that's just called being friends.
Yeah, you're frenemies. Especially the weird of the face.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's okay. You know what? Fuck that. Fuck the handshake. That's how you tell a person's personality. When you make eye contact, and that's how deep you are in a bond with them. Is if you're making a fucking dumbass face, that means one, they're cool. Two, you guys are like friends.
Yeah, so great.
That's a real battle buddy.
I have made a face when I made eye contact for a person for the first time because I'm like, this is a person I need to make a face at.
It's justified.
I can guarantee you, if the San Diego thing is a go, yeah, the look on my face is gonna be like excited, like friends, followed by who let this bitch in? I can guarantee you.
The San Diego thing is a go.
On the Battle Bunnies part, a great like form of character is you could even tell how a person was doing. Like when I was on my boat, if you came around the corner and you saw someone that was doing something absolutely stupid that you knew they'd get in trouble for seeing them doing, you just stop and you look at them and they stop and they look back at you, and then you both start doing the same exact thing that you're not supposed to be doing, then you know everything's okay. But if you came around the corner and they were doing that, and then they stop and they walk around, then you're trying to like, uh-oh. You can just pick up. So I think like shit like that, when you just learn social cues of who people are, is so much more telling than anything about like the norm of what they will always try to say.
As if context, social cues, and like emotional intelligence is the real tools of assessment of a human being, as opposed to this fucking meat flesh grasping that we do.
Oh, speaking of which, I want to go back to the handshakes. So I got two things. So I want to give the tip of if someone goes to shake your hand and they grasp too soon, so they just get your fingers. At that point, you should feel obligated to curtsy at them. That's what I do. It's great.
Do you do the like grab the imaginary skirt and everything?
Yep.
Okay, good.
The question is, do you put, when you do the curtsy, are you doing left leg behind the right or the right leg behind the left?
What's the difference? I don't know.
I go with left behind the right.
Is it a side dominance thing?
I do right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because your power, because you're a righty, that's going to be your stronger, better balanced leg, right? Yeah. Is that how that works?
No. So my there's something I've noticed, and I don't know if this is just like weird little idiosyncrasies with people, but usually, like, so if you're right-handed, that's your dominant hand, that's usually what people shake your hand with. So if you're going to do the false curtsy because someone just kind of like, pulled the trigger a bit too quick on the handshake, your left hand would be pulling, the hem of the imaginary skirt. So that would make sense that the right leg would go behind the left. So yeah, sorry, my brain just kind of went off on this.
All right, we're gonna need to draw this.
No.
Yeah,
I'm glad she said that, because I said I do right as if it's something I actually do, and I just want to say, in my head, when I imagined myself doing this, I saw my right foot backwards. But after she described it, I was like, oh, okay, yep, she's describing how I imagined it in my head. Thank God.
So I'm backwards because I'm right hand dominant, left leg dominant, and no eye dominant. I can't figure out my dominant eye. Like, it's the same.
You said, yeah, I was very confused.
Not a single piece of alpha in you at all. Fantastic.
No, I'm
just all random.
I'm just confused by the no eye dominant because I understand what it means, but when I first hear that, it sounds like your eyes just take turns seeing stuff, so you just can't see anything, and it's just like shutter vision. You're like, ah.
I think I'm right eye dominant. I'm like mostly right side dominant, but when it comes to actually walking, thanks to JRTC, I'm left foot dominant. I was.
Oh God,
trained.
you're a J Rotzi kid.
Yup.
Oh
sorry.
my God, this okay. Well, end the podcast. That explains everything.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
No, don't end the podcast. We'll continue on.
And then I forgot. I'm also left eyebrow dominant.
I was drinking water.
So that means that when you go to quirk an eyebrow up, it's the left one, right?
Yep.
I can't do the left. I can only do the right.
Yeah, right.
Well, the thing is, you gotta be good at using both because
I can't.
you need one to go up and you need the other one to go down, but you need to practice with both so you can get the full extent of it.
This is
Okay.
hurting my head trying to do this.
Well, yeah, one day we're gonna do this with like actual cameras and a live stream and all this shit. Because right now I'm actually trying to I'm raising my left eyebrow just to see how it feels, and it doesn't feel right.
You gotta go with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Like you gotta go for that mimic. He had it down.
I'm using muscles on my face that don't really get used a lot.
That's why I said you gotta practice.
I'm practicing, right? I'm doing my reps right now.
I was gonna say it's like some weird workout routine. Oh, is this a face exercise?
Yes, but not in that sense. Okay, now for my second point on the handshake. I don't like shaking people's hands because I've been in the bathroom. Half the guys don't wash their hands.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Before my current career, I used to work in a medical lab. We're talking about people who had to test shit on instruments, and they would use. We had a lot of human fluids like serum, piss, poop, blood, swab testing for STDs and stuff like that. And I watched some of these technicians fucking go to the bathroom, piss shit, whatever the fuck, and then immediately walk right out. And it's like, or they'll leave the lab after handling all this shit without washing their hands because they're disgusting.
And that's why we should go with the forearm grasp or the bow would be preferable.
The kapla. You can't forget the kapla.
I do the really cringy Orange County princess wannabe gangster sideways peace sign of sup. That way I stay within my safety bubble. No one feels the need to come towards me, and it's just a general confusion thing. I'm like one of those spiders that just kind of raises their hands and flails, and people are like, is this threatening? Are you offering to dance? I don't know. I'm just gonna keep my distance.
Yeah.
And
apparently I'm very warm and inviting, so a lot of my clients will actually hug me now. I got a regular who's this dude who's been my client for a while, and we went for a fist bump, but that fist bump turned into a bro hug. I was like, oh, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
Then I go home and I take off my work clothes and I sit in my room with the lights off and remind myself how much I loathe human contact.
Yep. I mean, there's a time and place for it, and I think San
Diego meetup is going to be the time and place, whether you want it or not.
Honestly, I don't really interact with too many people publicly anyway. A couple weeks ago when we had that Wednesday meetup where we actually got to see some of our coworkers for the first time since we work remote. Some people I was already friends with. I actually hung out with a few of them outside of work, so it was like, no big deal. We're besties anyway, so I can hug this person. New person I'm just meeting, handshake. Other person I've talked shit with and chat with all the time, hey, that warrants a hug. But yeah, it's weird.
Bonnie, what was our first interaction? I picked you up from the airport.
I think I waved.
No, you met us
from Yeah, I think I waved at you through a window.
Was it the typical Banya wave?
I mean,
I,
it's the only
yes?
wave I've ever seen him do, so I assume so. Sample size 1.
I mean, I need
Because
you
I
to
don't think I've ever seen
describe it.
Banya wave ever again after that.
I know. I need you to describe his wave for me.
I couldn't even remember it.
Ugh.
I put more emphasis on the face. The face. What do you call it?
It was a
The
face
look
wave.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see someone like wave with their face. Nope.
Well, it's like when you make the eye contact, instead of going for the nod, it's just like, well, I don't know, the face I make at people.
Yeah, I kind of forget that I do have other facial expressions other than resting bitch face. So when like meeting people, there's like the retail look of just like the fake smile. But then I'm like, wait, this is someone I know. So then it shifts to like actual enjoyment of seeing them. But then I'm a little confused because that's something other than resting bitch face. And then I just kind of get awkward off to the side. That's just me. I hate meeting people.
Existence is hard.
It is.
So, what's fun to do is, it's not. I guess it's a natural thing for me. I look people directly in the eyes when I'm like talking to them, and it just makes them uncomfortable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dominance play.
Dude,
Mhm.
seriously, as a formerly abused and traumatized child, like looking directly in someone's eye is like really, really uncomfortable.
It's really uncomfortable for everyone, but it's just what I'm used to because I'm just like, if I'm talking to you, like there's gonna be the eye contact. Like it's because I'm focused on that conversation.
Well, that makes a lot of sense for me because I was like, I struggle to look people at the eyes, not because I'm like uncomfortable, but just because I'm talking, I'm looking, and then I think about something, and I look off to the side, and I'm like, oh, cool, clouds, and then I look back, I'm like, wait, nope, this person.
But like, I don't know. It's like if you're in a conversation, sometimes I'm the same way. I'll get distracted, but I feel like the only time I ever hold extended eye contact in a conversation is if the conversation's getting heated and it's a challenge. Other than that, like my eye contact, like in just regular conversation, it's sporadic, just because it's weird.
But yeah, if you ever want to make people uncomfortable, just make that eye contact. It's real easy. So, but yeah, and more socially adept times that I've grown into, I try and just stare at the ground.
You know what's fun is that is great advice because either you'll make them uncomfortable or you'll make yourself. Either way, someone's uncomfortable.
Holy shit. Sorry, I don't mean to digress, but I'm actually looking at the stats for the 2 short vids I posted on the YouTube.
Oh God, are we talking about stats?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
it's too
one of
We
them
soon.
got
weren't
90.
supposed to do that.
Okay,
Too
but
soon.
there's thumbs ups on them.
I don't know that.
It's probably Zenny.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
There's 2 of them
That was me and Kitty.
2 whole thumbs up.
on the YouTube.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like, actually
No.
on the YouTube video. No.
I
it's not
haven't touched the YouTube. I've only been on the Twitter.
I haven't touched
Okay,
it.
anyways, let's go
I
back to this.
haven't touched it either, okay? I still think we need how obsessive stats are. Just the number crunching, and then it's just like, there's like 3 things up. We just started. We're still figuring shit out. Oh my God. Oh, on the day 1 stuff, when we saw the 1 download, like right away, and we're just like, who the heck did we trick into downloading this? And then like 30 minutes later, the second one, we're just like, I bet it was the person that was like a staff member reviewing it to make sure terms of service weren't violated. And then after they got like so far in, there's like, I need a second opinion.
They're like, hold on. This shit's weird. Call somebody else in. I need backup.
Do we approve this?
I don't know. It's like, are we controversial? Or are we just saying shit other people are already thinking because the past 2 to 3 years of this existence in society has just been all over the damn place?
We are saying nothing controversial if the mainstream news is anything to go by.
I mean, yeah, wrong.
Hi.
Oof. We need to roll the conversation back then. What's up, Manu?
I just remembered. If we should have said, if you're just now tuning in, I don't know why you're this far into it, starting it, but the laugh is on vacation, and the deep-voiced one is trying to defeat Claudia Black.
Is he still?
Interpret that as you wish.
But just for legal reasons, she is in no actual danger. It is a rivalry that she is not aware of.
Yep.
So I swear to God, of all the celebrities that could potentially come for us, if it's Claudia Black, I'm just gonna cry. Like I will just no, I can't. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Morgan will turn into a dragon and kill us.
No, more like Aaron's son is just gonna get all peacekeeper on our ass and just destroy us.
Fucking Aaron's son is a little scarier than Morgan, truth be told.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, should we end it there before it's 9 p.m.?
Yeah, we should end it on a very depressing note of us being killed by, peacekeepers from Farscape.
To be fair, though, in my case, it wouldn't be depressing. That would definitely be a yes, choke me, mommy kind of moments. But
yep, okay, that's the end of that.
Okay.
Which is okay.